What's up, guys? So just wanted to record a very quick training. I'm going to try to keep this super brief, but a lot of you, there's 3 of you now, but I know through talking with each of you individually, there are more things being added to your plate, right? Closer client communication, making sure we're updating the follow-up boards, projection sheets, all of that. I wanted to just kind of give a few quick tips, tricks, things that I found very helpful when I was closing to just help keep my day-to-day structure as efficient as possible. Now, you may already do all these things. If you do, that's awesome. Maybe none of these things are helpful for you. Maybe your brain works differently, but I figured this would be beneficial just to kind of help you figure out your day to day. Now, I'm not going to make this super, super long, super in depth. There are 3 things I would highly suggest you have in place on a day-to-day basis. Number 1 is going to be having your tasks saved. Have a list, whether it's in your notes, whether it's using the Closer client task sheet, whether it's on your calendar or an alarm clock reminder. Have your tasks written out that you know you need to get done every single day. Every single day. Have it written out so you can see it and say, check, 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 check. Great. Awesome. I would definitely suggest using the Closer's task sheet. This was made for a reason. You guys still have access to this. Each of you has a column. You'll know where our KPIs are, what you need to get done at the beginning of the day, what you need to do the middle of the day, what you need to do the end of the day. So even if you just at the end of the day check this to make sure you've done everything, or at the beginning of the day go through and check this board, this is great. Otherwise, you can just save your tasks in a note. But I would have a visual that says, all right, these are the things we need to get done. That way, 1, we're not missing EODs, we're not missing Closer client logs, we're not falling behind on our hot list or general list. It's all just a very easy day-to-day process. Number 2, and I'm going to dive into each one of these, time block. I prefer 2 time blocks. I know that some of you might prefer 3, but I would say allow yourself 60 minutes a day. That's all you need to get everything done, beginning of day, end of day, all of that. 60 minutes approximately, right? Maybe 62, maybe 65, maybe 58. But I prefer 2 time blocks. I like 45 minutes before my first call and 15 minutes after my last. Or you could do 15 minutes before your first call, 15 minutes after your last, and 30 minutes sometime during the middle of the day. Whatever works best for your schedule, find those time blocks. 45 minutes before your first call, 15 minutes after your last, or 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after, 30 minutes sometimes in the day. And I'm going to kind of explain why here in just a second. And then last is organization. I'm going to dive into each one of these, but biggest piece of advice is stay the most up to date throughout the day that you can. That sounds very simple. It sounds very straightforward. But I know when I closed, it didn't always happen. I'd be like, oh, I'll get to that later. Oh, this person didn't show. Let me just work some follow-ups. Let me do this. Stay up to date as best you can. Now, for number 1, have your tasks saved. Again, you have the task list here. I've got them written out here. So we'll go over this. You will have 7 things you need to do beginning/middle of the day, and 7 things you need to do at the end of the day. So very, very straightforward. Write these down, keep them in your notes. They're on the task sheet, use the task sheet, whatever you want to do. So beginning of the day, respond to EODs. So Joey's going to respond to your EOD, respond to him. So 1, respond to your EODs. I have that taking maybe 5 minutes. Depends on how long the message is from Joey. Maybe it's 2 minutes, maybe it's 3 minutes, maybe it takes you 1 to respond. I had this take about 5 minutes. Some days this might be a little bit more. Some days it might take you 30 seconds. Confirm the lineup. That's going to take you 60 seconds. You have to look at the lineup Joey's laid out and say yes or no. That's it. If it's a yes, thumbs up. We need acknowledgement that the lineup is correct. If there's something missing, just respond to him and say, I also have this person, or that person doesn't have a call, they rescheduled. Whatever it is, confirm the lineup. Number 3, confirm your appointments. If anybody you have not heard back from the night before's messages, make sure you respond to them in the morning and say, hey, again, just checking in. Does today still work at this time? And then last is going to be prepping notes for calls. Now, this is something you may or may not do. I religiously lived by this because personally, I'm going to be honest with you guys, at the end of the day after your last call, I know you're fucking tired. I know I was tired. I don't want to be doing end of day stuff all freaking night, right? So let's get it done ASAP. This in total right here could be that first 15 minutes before your first call, right? How I gave you the option 15 minutes before your first call, 15 minutes after the last, 30 in the middle. This could be that 15 minutes. Okay. Or you could do all these things and do your follow-ups in the morning. I prefer that. I like to do all of my tasks first thing in the morning, be done with it. So you've got the day in case somebody responds, you want to carry on conversation, you want to work on more projects or more follow-ups later, you have that. Okay, so if you are going to block your first 15 minutes and only 15 minutes, these are the things you need to do. Respond to EODs, confirm the lineup, confirm your appointments, prep notes for calls. I'll get to that in a second. If you're going to block 45 minutes, you're going to do these things, and then you're going to do your follow-ups. Okay. You're going to go to the closer client reach out board, and you're going to say, you're going to sort, and you're going to find your people. You're going to send messages. That will probably take you 10 minutes, maybe. Might take you 10 minutes to go through. You're not going to have a ton of people that you need to contact on a regular basis, right? And then hot list and general list follow-ups. Now, something I did want to add is the cadence for this. I personally don't work my hot list every single day, because if you're consistent with it, that's going to be a lot of conversation. I personally didn't work my general list every single day. I had dedicated times. So I'm going to give you an example of that. You don't have to follow it. What I personally like to do is take the first 15 minutes of that 45, get all this done. Easy peasy, be done with it. The next 30 minutes, you've got the closer client reach outs, hot list and general list follow-ups. I'm not going to write this out anywhere. You guys can pick your own time frame, write this down if you want to. On Mondays, I would suggest what Jeremy does. Go through your closer client reach outs and do the entire week. So Mondays, part of this 10 minutes is going to be reaching out to the entire week, 10, 15 minutes, right? Easy peasy. Personally, I would do follow-ups for all of those closer client reach outs on Wednesday. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I work the hot list. So you're not going to do both of these every day, most of the time. Okay. Mondays, first day of the week, I would do the entire week closer client reach outs. Have that be the only follow-ups that you do, but get them done. Okay. Then Wednesdays, you're going to follow up with all these people you reached out to on Monday to see if they got your message, to try to, build that conversation. And then again on Friday. That's how I would do it. That's how I kind of run my hot and general list. Monday, reach out to everybody. Wednesday, Friday, leave that for responses. Go back to see if they got your message, if they're open to getting on a call, but make sure you're doing your follow-ups. Okay. Now hot list and general list was a Tuesday, Thursday thing for me, and then filler follow-ups throughout that. So for me, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll work my hot list and general list. So you don't have to worry about these 10 minutes. You can spend the whole 30 on this. So Tuesday, Thursday, hot list and general list follow-ups. I'm also, though, spending Wednesdays and Fridays on responses to those people. So back it up. Mondays, closer client reach outs for the whole week. Tuesday, Thursday, hot list, general list. Wednesday, Friday, follow-ups from all those people. Super, super simple. Go back to everybody you reached out to Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. On Wednesday and Friday, follow up. Hopefully that makes sense so far. But delegate. You don't have to just bop and message one person on your hot list today and 5 people tomorrow and 15 people from your general list on Friday. We want to break this up. So in the morning, beginning of day tasks, have your tasks laid out. Know exactly what you're doing. I will time block and I have a schedule. Mondays, I'm doing closer client reach outs. Tuesdays, I'm working my hot list. Wednesday, I'm doing follow-ups from Monday and Tuesday. Thursday, I'm working my hot and general list again. Friday, I'm doing follow-ups from the whole week. Easy peasy. Monday through Friday, you've got your follow-up schedule done. Let me know if that helps. So that being said, first thing in the morning, you're going to respond to EODs that Joey sent. You're going to confirm your lineup. You're going to confirm appointments. You're going to prep your call notes. We'll get to that in a second. And then you're going to do your reach outs. And we're not doing everything every day. If you schedule it right, you don't have to. So let me know if that's helpful. If you guys do something similar, fantastic. Moving on from that would be prepping notes for your calls to set yourself up for the most amount of success. Don't wait until the end of the day to work on your end of the day. My notes, for some reason, my notes app won't open on my laptop. So I just copy and pasted my notes here. So as part of my beginning of the day, or you could do it EOD the night before, totally up to you. I'm going to go in and prep my whole EOD so I know exactly what I'm copying and pasting over at the end of the day. So let's say I have 4 calls today. I'm going to come in here and I've got Bob. He's a new call. I have Karen. She's a follow-up. I have Tim. He's a resign. And I've got, Sally. She's a new call. So let's just say I've got 2 new calls, a follow-up, and a resign. Great. This is done. This is ready to go. Scheduled calls. 2, 1. Right. We got resign and ascension here. And then I'm going to put 1, right? We got 2 new, 1 follow-up, 1 resign. Beautiful. At least the framework is done. As I go through the day, when I get on a call with Bob, this is going to take 30 seconds. If you guys do this, or if you have the opportunity to do it, I have this in my notes. I speak to, talk to text, basically. I'll hit the recording button. I will describe how the call went. It will convert everything. Makes it a lot faster than sitting there trying to type everything out. And then it's done. Then I will copy and paste that into the booking tracker immediately if I can. If not, wait till end of day, but immediately if I can do that before my next call, I'm gonna just copy and paste it. It's done. The day is complete. And then I'll update this as I go. So Bob showed, Bob was pitched, Bob didn't close. I'm going to update this after every single call that I have. You don't necessarily have to, but I would highly suggest keeping this part up to date. If you've got a minute before your next call, it's only going to take you 45 seconds to talk to text that message right here. You can make it pretty later, right? If the grammar's wrong, yada, yada, make it pretty later, but get how the call went right here. Get it done. Cool. Now, the reason that I do this is because at the end of the day, if I, for some reason, am super busy back to back, I will still take 30 seconds before my next call to get these notes done. Because if you've got 4, 5, 6 calls in a row, it's probable that by the time you go back to write the notes from the first call, you might not have all the information as accurate as it would have been had you do it first. So I'm going to copy and paste all the notes from Bob into the booking tracker at the end of the day. Easy peasy. Okay. Hopefully you guys are following me so far. Time blocking, organization. So I'm going to keep, like I said, all my EOD notes up to date throughout the entire day. If you have somebody who doesn't show or cancel, sweet, update everyone that you've had so far and be done with it. Be done with it. Don't wait till the end of the day. Personally, another reason I like this is I like to have 2 booking tracker tabs open. So I'm going to just use Drew as an example. When you guys are in the booking tracker, you can see I've got 2 tabs. I'm going to filter by closer. Pick yourself. And then if you scroll, we're going to pick original call date today. These are all the new calls you have on the books for today. Don't change it. It's easy peasy. Now, if you go to the second tab, I'm going to do the same thing. Filter myself. I'm going to be Drew right now. So that way it's only your calls. And then I'm going to scroll this time to the reschedule follow-up date to today. So now you have all your follow-ups. That's everybody on your books aside from resigns, right? You're going to have to, unless you want a third tab open, that's fine. But I leave this like this all day. That way I know these are the people I need to update from today. Easy peasy. You'll never miss anybody. Cool. So what you'll do, I get done with Bob. I'm going to copy those notes. I'm going to come right here. I'm going to paste those notes in here and get everything else done right on the spot if you can. If not, wait till the end of the day, but at least your notes are done. Beautiful. Hopefully there's no questions on that one. Another piece of advice I would give is just throughout the day, double check that you're on top of stuff. This should not take long. 15 minutes at the end of your day should get all of your EOD tasks done. 45 minutes before your first call, you should get all of your follow-ups and your beginning of day tasks done. That's 60 minutes a day. You can probably get it done faster. I'm sure there's a lot of times where you can just speed through some messages, do responses throughout the day. You can probably get it done faster. Piece of advice, time block. Time block. If you start your day at 9 a.m., at 8 a.m., you're actually starting your day. If you want to get your follow-ups done right off the bat, that way you don't have to worry about doing it in the middle of the day. Now, training ILA caps here, this is a 1 time a week thing, right? So once a week, you're going to have an extra probably 60 minutes where you're watching a call of your own or you're watching a peer's call and doing your review. That's one day a week. You have to do this. So I'm going to let you all fill that in where you'd like. But hopefully this was helpful. Just a quick recap. Have your tasks saved. Have a list of things you know you need to do on a day-to-day basis. Copy these ones. Copy and paste these into your notes. Easy peasy. You got 7 in the morning / midday. You got 7 at EOD. Okay. Number 2, time block, 60 minutes. I personally like 45 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes after my last call. If you like to do 15 minutes before, 30 minutes in the middle of the day for follow-ups, 15 minutes after, completely fine. Okay. And then organization. 2 big pieces of advice. Keep a running update of your day in your notes. Have your EOD listed out. Keep it updated throughout the day, during or after your, obviously after your call. And then have 2 tabs open for the booking tracker. That way, when the EOD comes around and we start to look at these tasks, booking tracker updates are easy. You're just going to copy and paste your notes from your calls to the booking tracker. Upload your recordings, confirm your appointments for tomorrow, If you want to prep notes for calls, you can. If you prefer to do that EOD instead of beginning a day, that's up to you. But I would submit my EOD, clear everything out, and then write my people for tomorrow. Totally up to you. Projection sheet, hot list generalist add-on. So now at the end of the day, when we're done, we're going to take the people that we've met with and say, all right, do they belong on the hot list, the generalist? Great. If they do, add them, be done with it, and send your EOD. I would do it probably in this order. Hopefully this was helpful. It's time blocking is going to be my biggest piece of advice, and keeping tabs open and keeping notes open. That's going to help a ton. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I don't know if this was helpful. Personally, though, it was helpful for me to kind of delegate specific times for different things. Another piece of advice, like I said, would be when it comes to actual reach outs, Monday, close our client log for the whole week. Tuesday, hot list and generalist. Wednesday, follow-ups from all of those Monday, Tuesday people. Thursday, hot list generalist, because obviously we're going to have to keep that one a little bit more communicative, a little bit more open. And then Friday, follow-ups from the last couple of days. So that way, you know, you're doing your outreach, but you're also doing your due diligence to make sure those conversations are being had and people are actually seeing our messages. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if it was or if it wasn't. But have a great rest of your day, guys, and I'll send this over to the chat soon.